Hello, nicotine warriors. Today I'm coming to you to talk about a frequently asked question. Does Tolevita actually contain nicotine? Or is it just full of bullshit?
And what are the ones I would recommend the most? This brand right here, Tolevita.
Oh no, it's made in China.
China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China.
And what the hell is the deal with a natural tobacco extract?
Natural tobacco extract. Natural tobacco extract. How miraculous is that?
This seems to be confusing a lot of people. I've read your comments, I've gotten your messages, I've seen the threads where people are discussing this, and frankly, some people are very pissed off about it. They're very impatient when it comes to patches in general.
When's this thing supposed to kick in? It's not working. It's broken.
And the fact that this particular patch brand does not fit the norm as to its formulation, it's confusing people. It just like boggles their mind and they have a negative reaction emotionally. They're suspicious of it. They don't think it's going to work for them. They're very, very impatient, similar to Hank Hill when he was wanting to use nicotine patches. So Tolevita lists on their ingredients a natural tobacco extract.
Natural tobacco extract. How miraculous is that?
Now, I myself am a trained herbalist. I prefer to get a whole plant extract whenever possible. I believe that is the best way to consume a medicine as God created it. So, isolated constituents from plants, they do have their place, and I take several on a daily basis. But the whole Western allopathic pharmaceutical medicine system, aka Pharmakeia, if you know, you know.
Just so you know, when you're reading Revelations 18:23, pay attention. In the last days, what is written that will deceive all nations of the earth in the last days?
Mm-hmm.
You will read it now in the New English translations. You will all be deceived by witchcraft and sorcery. What's the original word they replaced for sorcery and witchcraft? Which is what you read in there now.
Is it Pharmakeia?
It's Pharmakeia.
It's Pharmakeia in the
Yes.
Greek? Oh, no.
So just so you know,
Sorry, y'all. I'm just geeking out over here.
you're living in the last days, man, and you should pay attention.
The whole Western allopathic pharmaceutical medicine system, that is based off of stripping away one particular aspect of a plant and then typically adding a bunch of other stuff into it and trying to standardize it. And people have become very accustomed to that in America. They want things fast. They want it reliable. They want it standardized. They don't want to research for themselves. They don't want to experiment for themselves. They don't want any variation whatsoever. And that, quite frankly, is unnatural. That's not how the natural world works.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
And that sort of thinking often leads people into chronic illness because they outsource their own authority to an outside authority to choose what's right for them and their health. And so when I encourage people to research things on their own and to experiment, that's sometimes met with resistance. But that's how I've found the greatest success for myself in my 27 years of treating extreme chronic Lyme disease. So Tolevita is a mixture of essential oils and an extract of tobacco.
These are nicotine patches, all natural ingredients such as orange peel, clove oils in them, and natural tobacco extract. You learn how to use these in my book, Moving Beyond the COVID-19 Lies, or look up our nicotine PDF reference guide at the resources tab.
And yet, many people are emphatic that they contain zero nicotine. There's no nicotine to be found. They don't do shit for them. That's what people say. And for me, it's kind of funny because this is, to me, common sense. With nicotine, it seems that for a lot of people, common sense goes out the window. They just throw that shit away and they don't recover it. So I'm encouraging you, go retrieve your common sense, think about things critically, and understand that all of this is individual. It's all personal experimentation. If you were to take a leaf of tobacco and put it in your mouth and chew it and tuck it up in your lip, you would essentially be making a tobacco extraction in your mouth. You would feel the effects of nicotine. I'm sure you would. If I took some fine Scandinavian tobacco and I loaded it up in this pipe and I put that in there and I applied a flame to that, I would essentially be making an extract and I would be inhaling it. So it bears to reason that natural tobacco extract is a thing and it works.
Tolevita all natural nicotine patches, which I use every day and have for months. My wife wears them every day also. I trust them. Therefore, I would expect you can too.
Another commonly asked question in regards to Tolevita is, oh no, it's made in China. What does that mean?
China?
It's sad to say, but nearly everything in the United States in one way or another is made in China. And that's not necessarily a bad thing in all cases. China has an ancient history of wonderful herbalism. Ancient Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, herbs, etc. That is one of the most ancient forms of medicine with the most extreme database of empirical evidence that exists in the history of the world. And so China gets a bad rap. And I understand if there was a completely US-made nicotine product, I would buy it.
Ask for and buy Made in the USA.
Made in the USA.
But there's not. And if you look at some of the other brands, for example, Rugby, they don't say where it's made. They say where it's manufactured. And that's kind of a legalese type term that can be deceptive. Because I would not be surprised if they get all the things from China and they just slap a label, aka manufacturing it in America, and then they say, oh, it's manufactured at our plant in Florida. So you must experiment for yourself. I spent the $10 to $15 for patches for myself, and I chose to experiment, and I was blown away by the effects. I herxed heavily when I bumped up to a 7 milligram dose, and I did not receive the jab. I did not feel like I was suffering symptoms of long COVID. I just did it purely so I would know what it was like, so I could recommend it to other people who wanted to use it. And I had a breakout of rashes and blisters and pimples and boils that were totally a Herxheimer reaction. It also sent an extreme amount of electric nerve pain through my system, which I believe was clearing out the nicotinic acetylcholine receptors, which is one of the main purposes of using nicotine, is to clean out those receptors. So nicotine is a very powerful detoxification stimulant. I feel like Tolevita is a good product.
My wife wears them every day also. I trust them. Therefore, I would expect you can too.
Hopefully this shines some light on the situation for you. Please check out my other videos if you found this helpful. Give a thumbs up and share. Thank you.